Hey, hello guys, it's R64 Relax for FC and I'm mind you guys, we're back with another video. Yes, we're here with a scary story video here. Today we're going to be reading 3 scary stories from Reddit. Alright, see you there. Number 1. This story is from the user JustInsane88. This is a story that I've rarely told anyone because it was legitimately the closest thing to a supernatural occurrence I've ever personally experienced, and it scares the shit out of me. I have a little brother. He's 3 years younger than me. When I was in 6th grade, we were home alone during the summertime and playing around as brothers do, wrestling around, chasing each other around the house, etc. Nothing out of the ordinary. I ended up chasing him into our parents' room, and we were throwing stuff back and forth at each other, having a little fake war across the bed at each other. I don't know, kid stuff. It popped in my head that it would be funny to scare him by shutting off all the lights. There were no windows in our parents' room, so with the lights off, it's pitch black, except for whatever light creeps in from under the door. I retreat to the door and decide at the last second that it'd be funnier to leave the room, turning the lights out as I passed, and close the door behind me, leaving him in the darkness alone. Maybe scare him a bit. So I did. I shut the door behind me and I turned the light off and left the room, turning around to listen to him as he panicked. He wanted me to come back in, but he didn't. "What are you doing?" I hear him say. Yes, he thinks I'm still in there, I guess. Haha. He didn't see me leave the room. I kept listening. "Jacob, what are you doing? You're freaking me out. Please stop." That's odd. I wonder what he's talking about. Keep listening. "Jacob, I'm not joking. Get away from me. Turn the light back on now. I'm telling Mom that you scared me." "What the fuck? Get away from me." Did you just say get away from me?" Laughing, I yelled through the door to him. "Oh, dude, I'm not even in there." He screams loudly like he's been stabbed or something. I made a blood-curdling scream. I freaked the fuck out and tried to open the door. It's locked. I didn't lock the fucking door. Why is it locked? My little brother is still screaming, begging me to help him. "Hurry, please." I'm panicking. I have no idea what to do. I'm like 13 years old and weigh 90 pounds. I can't bust this door down. My little brother is in trouble. I have to get him. He stopped screaming. I tried the door handle again, and to my surprise, it opens effortlessly. It's unlocked. I open the door and turn off the light. I see my brother in the corner crying. After some consoling and apologizing, I finally get him to explain what happened. He tells me that when I turned the lights out, his eyes hadn't adjusted to the light yet. It was just dark. After about 20 to 30 seconds, his eyes start to adjust, and from a little bit of light leaking in from under the door, he saw me standing in the corner with my back to him. When he asked me what I was doing, I turned to him and started walking slowly across the room towards him. I kept coming until I was standing over him, looking down at him. He said he couldn't make out any features, just a dark figure with a shadowy face. He said a hand extended out towards him and grabbed his shoulder. It was cold and very strong. It hurt him. When I opened the door and turned on the light, the figure was gone. It just wasn't there. I never saw anything myself. My brother is now 23 years old, and I'm 26, and to this day, he won't talk about this event. We have friends who've heard this story through me and will tease him about it. He simply leaves the room, refusing to acknowledge it. He's admitted to me that he's almost 15 years later, he is bothered by what happened that day. He still has nightmares from time to time. He still doesn't have an explanation for what happened. Number 2. Delusional resident is fixated on me. Okay, let's start from the beginning, shall we? I work in a leasing office at a property in Texas. I also live on site. We have about 400 apartments and take up 2 sides of the street. I live across the street in the very back and try to keep to myself. I do not like for residents to know that I live there. About 2 months in, a woman and her 2 grown sons lease an apartment with us. The sons are twins, one especially, the other is a little different. He has a very active imagination and is very focused on sex. Almost immediately after they moved in, things started getting weird. The first encounter, one day, I was crossing the street after work to go home. As soon as I reached the other sidewalk, I hear a voice call out, "Hey, yo, Rachel." I turned towards the voice. which I realized was coming from the bus stop at the end of the street. I didn't recognize it. I didn't recognize who it was until I got a little closer. Who the fuck is that? I think to myself. We met face to face, and I realized who it is from when he moved in. I knew he was a little weird, so I was trying to keep my distance while still being polite. He's easy to piss off, and I do not know what he's capable of, but I don't want to make him think that there is anything beyond the polite hello. He started telling me that I look just like his baby mama, who lives in North Texas, and then jumps to different subjects about how he had just ran all the way from downtown to her. Then decides to tell me his entire family history, naming all the cousins and homeboys, rambling on and on about essentially nothing. I haven't said anything other than oh, and okay. I kept taking steps backwards to indicate that I'm trying to leave, but he kept talking and moving closer to me. As I'm trying to leave, I noticed that he has a huge boner. He was wearing basketball shorts as always, so it was pretty difficult to hide. This creeps me the fuck out, and I somehow managed to get away from him. He sat at the bus stop staring at me as I walked away. I didn't want him to know that I lived there, so I just kept walking down the street to make it look like I lived elsewhere. Every now and then I would see him around the property, or he would come to the office to talk at me, and it was very uncomfortable. The leasing office had a hallway leading to a manager's office, a copier. In the package room, there was a door on it or two, which came in handy quite a bit. His visits got to the point where every time I saw him walking up to the office, I would run and hide in the back and let the other staff deal with him. He wasn't creepy towards them, and they knew the situation, so it was cool. Cut to December. Our office was being remodeled, so we were using our business centers as a temporary workspace. It's only one room. There's only one way in and one way out. And no places to hide. I was alone in the office one day. Who should come walking in but my worst nightmare? He needed to borrow our copy of his mail key because he misplaced his, or didn't have one, or whatever. We had to take an ID in order to release the keys, and he didn't have his, so he had to go to his apartment, get the ID, and come back. And this time he was gone. In the time that he was gone, I set up my phone on my coworker's desk and started recording videos, and just in case any crazy shit happened, so I would have the evidence. He noticed the tattoo on my shoulder and commented on it, asking, "Is that your name, or why the hell would I have my own name tattooed on myself?" I tell him that's my grandmother's name, which sends him into the whole spiel about how he has his grandmother tattooed on his grandmother tattooed on him. And he's an artist, and he draws people's faces. He leaves to go check his mail, then returns a few minutes later. However, when he returns, he has added something to his symbol. He now has a pencil behind his ear, I suppose to make it look more like an artist. Then he said he was going to draw my face, but I had to send him a picture so he could look at the image of me. He said that he would bring the picture to the office later that week. Edit. I did not send him a picture. Months go by, but no picture. I was walking through the pool to go walk an apartment, and he catches me in the pool area. Fuck, no escape. He presents me with, well, I don't really know what to call it. It's me, or I guess how he sees me. The picture was drawn on a lined notebook paper and pen, and looked like he threw it together in 3 minutes. He drew me black. I am white, wearing shorts, tight dress. Not something I would wear. Legs 2 different sizes. Carrying a purse with text on it. That's not an eye of my own. It was very creepy. I keep it on my fridge to remind myself that I am not safe. Upon closer inspection of said drawing, I noticed that he drew nipples on it under the dress. I thought, oh my god, did he really draw naked? The next day I talked to the maintenance man about it. He says that he did originally draw it naked, but he decided to put clothes on it because giving it to me like that would be too forward. What the actual fuck? Another day, I was walking out one of the pool gates. He was walking in through the other. I saw him out of my peripherals, but he didn't acknowledge him because, well, you get it. He says, "Hey, yo, Rachel," twice in a very low voice. I am hard of hearing, so I can get away with pretending I didn't hear someone. Apparently this made him angry. The reason I know this because he talks to one of our maintenance staff about me regularly. The person relays the weird, creepy, delusional shit that he says about me. According to him, I was very rude, and he don't play that. Where he's from, the next few times I saw him, he has deranged look in his eyes, like he was disgusted by me. It also kind of looked like he wanted to hurt me. A few weeks go by, and he apparently got over being mad and resumes being the creepiest motherfucker alive. The maintenance man tells me that he claimed to have met my boyfriend and that he's a cool dude, so he's gonna back off. I asked my boyfriend if he ever met him. He says no. The maintenance man tells me that he claims he has met my parents when they stopped in for a visit, and they were really nice, cool people. I asked my parents if they spoke to or saw anyone whilst visiting me at work. They also said no. I don't know when or how he could have met them or even saw them. I never saw him around when they were here. I have confirmed from multiple different people that were there that he was nowhere around. He is hiding. Is he hiding in the fucking bushes? Recently, I decided to use our fitness center late at night. The fitness center has big windows that look over the second pool on my side of the property. While I'm on the treadmill, which is in front of one of these windows, he appears, staring at me through the glass, waving at me, watching me. I pretend there is a glare on the window and that I didn't see him. He disappears into the dark shadows in the pool area, and I continue to work out. The next day, the maintenance man tells me that he talked to our friend and he could not stop talking about how he saw me in the fitness center. He went into detail about what I was wearing, how form-fitting it was, how sweaty I was, overall creepy shit that gave me the chills. I avoid the fitness center and use my real gym to avoid seeing him again. A few days go by, and my informant, the maintenance man, you get it, tells me that my stalker was wondering why I stopped going to the gym. Apparently, ever since the fateful night, he has been returning to the pool around the same time to wait for me so that he could watch me work out again. Fucking nope. He started to show up at the office more frequently, and I have to avoid him. Friday, he's sitting in the pool area by the office directly behind where my desk is. There's a huge window behind me. I turn to get something out of my cabinet and catch him staring at me. He waved. I flash a nervous peace sign and then proceed with my business. He is not in swimwear, but rather fully dressed. He has his notebook with him, and he's frankly drawing something. I think, great, here comes another picture of me, but this time in workout clothes. Nope. My co-worker went to put up the golf cart and close the cabana. She has to go through the pool area to do this, and she got a glimpse of what he was drawing, a cross with my name going down the middle. According to him, I asked him to draw a tattoo for me, so that's what he was doing, drawing a tattoo for me that has my own name on it. It's bad enough that it's a cross, but with my name? That would burn my flesh. He says he's going to give it to me the next day. The next day, he didn't show up. I am not sure when I asked him to draw me a tattoo, but I'm pretty sure it was never. 2 weeks had passed, and I think that maybe he isn't going to give me the drawing, and enough time has passed that he gave up, and I could use the fitness center again. My friend and I went around 8 p.m. and we didn't see any signs of him, so we go ahead with our workout. I was flipping over to do leg raises on my side, which causes me to face the door. Chills engulf my entire existence, and my heart stopped for a second. He is standing directly across the street, on the phone, staring at me through the door. I start to panic and find a place to hide from view. Peeking around the corner, I see him turn and walk through the outside hallway behind the leasing office. His normal route to his apartment. Hoping that he wouldn't come back for a while, we continue our workout. I keep glancing out of the window every few seconds to make sure he isn't there. He reappears, still talking on the phone, but this time he starts pacing around the fitness center very slowly, looking through the windows with a creepy ass side glance, like I wouldn't be able to see him creeping. I keep trying to hide from view. I'm waiting for an opportunity to get the fuck out of there. I'm hiding in a corner. He walks up to the locked door, fucking knocks on it. He continues to knock on us for a solid 3 minutes, then finally leaves. He walks down the street a little way, and I take the chance to run the fuck back to my apartment as fast as I can. Today, my informant tells me that the stalker said I wouldn't let him into the fitness center for a drink of water. He said that he had just ran all the way from the insert popular place nearby, and he just wanted water, but I wouldn't let him in. Then he switched up his story and said that he was trying to give me the drawing of the tattoo that I had asked him for. He didn't run from anywhere. He was wearing flip-flops. 2, he had been standing still for a good 30 minutes before coming to the fitness center. He had gone back to his fucking apartment where there is water, so why the fuck would he have gone all the way to the fitness center for water? 3, he didn't have the drawing with him. He didn't have pockets on what he was wearing, and it wasn't in his hand. He also claims to have talked to the neighbor that lives across from me. He said that I'm a weird, crazy girl, and he should stay away from me. That shook me to my core, because if that's true, he knows where the fuck I live. I knocked on my neighbor's door and asked him about it. He said he has no idea what I'm talking about. Luckily, this Friday is my last day at this property, and I'm transferring to a new one, closer to where I want to live. I will still live here for two more months. I can't wait to leave. And lastly, number 3. This occurred a really long time ago. I was about 4 or 5 around the time my aunt was just starting up a child daycare, and I was her first customer. My mom used to pick me up around 8 every day. We would catch the bus at the corner. The bus ride was about 10 minutes, as we didn't live too far away from my aunt's apartment. On this particular night, we decided to walk home because it was Halloween. Walking from my aunt's place to our apartment was about a 30-minute walk. This wasn't too bad since we lived in a heavily populated city. When we walked at night, we stayed on the main street, and tonight was no exception. We would stop to by local plazas where some stores would give out candy. Everything was going well until we were blocked. Until we got everything we would stop by local plazas when some stores would give out candy. Everything was going well until we were a block until we got to our apartment. I don't remember the name of the side street, but it was next to the main street that we lived on. My family and I knew this community well because there was a local church we used to attend nearby, and the street was literally the opposite side where our apartment building was located. My mom agreed to walk around the opposite side before we made our way back to the apartment so I could get some more candy. The house here are very nice. They are located within the city, but this community was very well taken care of. After stopping by a few houses, my mom decided that was enough, and we made our way around the block to our side where we were leaving the community. And as we were in the last house of the block, there was someone standing in the bushes. This particular house, all the lights were off. No one was really on the side of the street, since the only house here seemed to have no one at the home at the time. I remember staring at him, wondering what he was doing, and as he turned around and stared back, he was wearing a hockey mask and black clothing. We were too far down the street from the rest of the houses. There wasn't anyone near us. We made a right, and then another right, and as we were getting closer to our apartment, that's when I realized the guy was walking behind us. He was about 5 to 10 feet behind us. My mom realized this too, and she grabbed my hand and started going faster. I was confused on why my mom was acting strangely. I kept asking questions like any annoying kid. The man started shouting at us, asking where we were going, asking us to stop, to let him talk to us. We were almost to the door when someone stepped out of the apartment complex with their dog, and the man stepped back a little to get. This gave my mom the opportunity to type in the security code, open the main lobby. As we waited for the elevator coming down, the man stood outside looking into the glass doors and tapping on them. We waited for the elevator to come down. The man stood outside, and he kept saying to have a nice night and to realize how lucky we were. The danger the man might have been didn't dawn on me until I was much older, and now I'm thankful that he didn't attempt anything while we were on the side of the block that no one else was on. Alright guys, thank you guys so much. That is the video. Hope you guys did enjoy this. I enjoyed this. I will probably be doing some more. I'll probably do 2 episodes a week. And yeah, make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.